It's actually a washroom. You go in, you relieve yourself, and you get the hell out of there. You don't sit there and take in all of the shit that your feed has to provide you. Hi, how's everyone doing? So this video of mine is a total departure from what I've been creating till date, and this topic also happens to be really close to my heart and mind, if you will. In fact, this topic has been the motivating factor for running this channel, and in fact I've been dying to put this out for a very long time, which is why I even created this YouTube channel. Now, talking about the topic, which is 6 ways detoxing from Instagram turned my life around. I'm not just making this up, but towards the end of the video you'll understand why and how Instagram can be so damaging and what taking a step back from it could actually do for you. Now, I'm not talking about influencers or people who run their businesses through Instagram. They're not within the scope of this video, but it's for people like me. Like, I haven't really used Instagram with business motives in mind. In fact, I used it for nothing, and I ended up wasting so much time over it that, oh my god, I mean, this is why we are here in the first place. So let's just begin. So, beginning with time, the most important thing. I mean, just imagine the things you could achieve when you have time on your side, and Instagram is like a detractor, that way. Speaking for myself, which I'll do best, I have wasted so much time scrolling through Instagram without no goal in mind, without any intention in mind. It was like I was an autopilot. I would just open my phone, open Instagram, and keep scrolling until I began to feel pukish. We might want to give it 100 million different names, like as to why we scroll through Instagram. Some might want to call it helps me decompress after a hard day. Some might want to say I am here for the inspiration it gives me. Or like me, what I used to say was Instagram helps me express. Now, what was I doing that at the cost of? What was I like giving away so much of my time to Instagram just so I could express myself at the cost of? Like, I'm not saying that self-expression is a bad thing, definitely not, but saying Instagram helps you express actually narrows down the whole concept of self-expression. One should be able to express themselves through more than just Instagram. Instagram could be one of the ways, I agree, but one shouldn't use that as a reason to spend time on Instagram, because that's only going to create barriers around the person for his actual self-expression. Yeah, coming to the second point, I actually think our minds are like the computer, in the sense that we have limited storage in our minds. We cannot process so much at once. All of us must have definitely felt it, unless one is a very established meditation master. But then meditation is about not having thoughts. So yeah, coming back to having thoughts. And we can only process so much. Don't you sometimes feel, I mean, we all have been there, like we've got too much happening in our lives and we are losing control. That is because we feel like we are losing control, because it's all in the head. And when you have so much things in your head, just like a computer, when it's like overburdened with too much data, what happens? Especially, let's think about Windows computers, right? They tend to become laggy and so many other things happen. So we have to then upgrade the memory, blah blah blah, but you know what I'm talking about. So the same way, I think our minds actually have limited capacity for what we can hold in it, and we have to actually gatekeep what enters our minds. When we open Instagram, some of us, I know, thankfully I wasn't there, but I have seen people, the first thing they do when they wake up in the morning is scroll through Instagram. Now, can you imagine what's that going to do to that person's mind? The effects might not be so tangible, it might not be so apparent, but the person is overloading his mind with data from Instagram, and it's actually going and taking up space in his mind. So the part of his mind that he could have maybe invested in something which is more beneficial or more expressive for him is getting used up by Instagram. And don't even get me started on it. Instagram is so good at overburdening us. Like, all you have to do is just open the app, keep scrolling through your feed, and all of these unregulated things which you don't even want to be there. Sometimes when you click on explore posts, let's say explore posts, now if you're just talking about your feed, there are stuff from people who you follow. But if you're talking about explore posts, there's everything, things you don't want to see. Now you might be like, blah, I don't like this, but it has entered your mind, you know that, and you can't get it out of there yet. So all this barrage of data, things that you don't need, gets this direct access to your brain when you use Instagram and when you use it mindlessly. I have Instagram on my phone, so when I'm just trying to keep my profile intact, not intact, really active, because I plan to use it for my self promotion later for my channel and for my drawings. If you did not know, this is a trivia, I am also into drawing, so which is why I have not deleted my Instagram. But yes, I have deleted it from my phone. So in order to keep my profile still relevant, I get in once in 2 months or once in 3 months, upload a photo or two, and then I just get the hell out of there. Consider Instagram as something like so you enter Instagram, you relieve yourself, but you don't sit around and you know what I mean, you just enter a toilet, you relieve yourself, and then you get the hell out of there, right? It's my analogy, and I came up with this some time back. It's actually a washroom. You go in, you relieve yourself, and you get the hell out of there. You don't sit there and take in all the shit that your feet has to provide you. Now I know that I'm dressed up too, and this is not how I woke up, but I'm doing this for YouTube. Now when it came to Instagram, what I used to do was, yes, I would dress up, and then I would take my photos, and then I would edit my photos. And you know how much time that would take up? I think the whole shooting would take up to an hour. Yes, I'm being very honest. You can judge me all you want. It's okay. I'm doing the same for YouTube. But with YouTube, it's a fair transaction. With Instagram, what? Like I said, we don't need the likes. We could do without them. Yes, we will be still alive without the likes. If you might have seen the social dilemma, right? These applications, Facebook, Instagram, even LinkedIn, we are their product. So if they are being transactional, we should be too, right? If spending time on Instagram is helping you gain something, actually gain something. I just don't mean gain validation. We could do without that. We don't need validation, actually. No one needs it. Let's just go on with our lives without validation and just keep doing our thing and get recognition where we deserve it, right? I'm not attacking influencers, but I think, let's face it, let's just address the elephant in the room already. Not all of us wanted to become influencers when we started out with our lives, right? And not me especially. I never wanted to become an influencer. I wouldn't say that I didn't want to become a fashion influencer. Yeah, I did not. But I definitely had my eyes on gaining a few number of followers and gaining likes and all of those things. I mean, that was what kept me going. I was seeking validation too, and if anybody asked me, you're seeking validation, I would say no, I'm here for expression. Now this point is, as you've seen by the name, buying things I did not need. Now I know this will be very relatable with many people, especially girls, but there have been times when I've bought things just because I envisioned myself wearing them for an Instagram post. I'm guilty of this. I have done this, continued doing this for many years. I bought things which I did not need. I bought things just for the sake of posing in a photo, and that's how compressed and that's how limited, my mind space got, that whenever I would see something pretty, I wouldn't think of it as, okay, I'm gonna wear that, how beautiful a dress it is, how beautiful a shoe it is. But my way of looking at myself was through the Instagram photos. It's like the Instagram photo is between me and reality, my own Instagram photo, and I'm viewing reality through my Instagram photo. And that's a pretty sad way to live, I guess. Sad way to live versus a more authentic and fulfilling way to live. Now, that is a life without Instagram. You can still express yourself, you can still get inspired, and most of all, you can have so much time for yourself, for actual self-expression. And yeah, just in case I forgot to add this before, I'm not also including artists within the scope of this video. I mean, artists need recognition for their work, so go out there, do Instagram, post your stuff on Instagram, do it there. Just be mindful of spending so much time scrolling. Now, coming to the last point, that is how I have started living my life without having Instagram at the back of my mind all the damn time. Now, that's the best thing, you know, like Instagram, I considered myself as being totally like connected to the system, and the connections being the tentacles of Instagram, as I'd like to call it. Now I'm like totally out of Instagram's snare, and it's like I'm taking a look at Instagram from a distance and I'm seeing all the bad ways it can actually stop you from becoming who you really want to be. And coming out of Instagram actually felt like I was out of a sentence. Honestly, it might sound like a little bit of an exaggeration to some of you, but for me, I see Instagram as a time of being in the dark, like totally being in the dark or being in the shadows. Now I'm out of it, and life has become so simple, and I'm able to enjoy things without getting the thought of, okay, I need to share this as a story. I mean, I was there, I used to do this. I had a story up every 5 minutes. If that sounds like exaggeration again, it might be, but it's true. I had a story every 5 minutes out there. Now I'm able to take in a place without the need to upload it as a story. It was a little difficult at the start, and when you detox from Instagram, one of the first things you'll feel is, how am I going to function without it? Because it gets so intertwined with your life that you begin to feel incomplete without it. And yes, that's what it does to you, because it's an addiction like no other. And without Instagram in your life, you will at first feel this void. You will feel like life just can't go on. You need to share every little detail out there as a story or as a photo. But trust me, after all of that ends, you actually feel you have unplugged, and you actually kind of feel a little freer than before, because Instagram, as we know it, it's a form of, I don't know, I don't want to begin on that topic, but it's a way of keeping us hooked, and it's a way of keeping us absent from our own lives and from giving ourselves the attention that we need. And now, since I'm into art and design, I was beginning to really ignore them when Instagram was took up a major chunk of my head, if you will. And after Instagram was over from my life, I was able to pay attention to those things which really needed my attention. And now it's past a year since I've been doing that Instagram, and honestly, I have been learning every day, I have been productive every day, and I have been using my time in more fulfilling ways, in ways which I don't regret looking back at. With this, I'd like to end this video, and I hope you've liked it. I hope this will help you maybe like just assess your relationship with Instagram. Stick around for more such content. I'm mostly into travel vlogging, but I will also continue to post such kind of things. So my channel is yet to gain a certain identity. Like, I have posted from travel to home vlog and all that, but mostly I'll be vlogging about travel experiences of this kind, and what they have taught me, and what I could tell you about what they've taught me. So basically sharing all of these experiences with you guys. So I'll see you in the next video, and take care, and think twice before you click on Instagram again, because just remember, you're giving it so much of your time which you could have used in other ways which actually fulfilled you and made you feel happy.